Because generally people try to hide their problems. You know, a lot of times we don't want to, or maybe even know or feel
Well, their acting out
comfortable
in school will go to
enough.
another level completely. And I'm thinking if that goes to another level, at some point, school systems are going to have to reach beyond their breaches.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. A lot of our children are medicated, and that medication kind of solves the problem temporarily. It's not really addressing the stressors, it's addressing the behavior. And not that I'm against the medicine, um, some children may need it, but a lot of times that's the direction that we go in. We go after the symptoms, not the root of the problem.
Yeah, well, I'm just parents out there. There are things that just happen in your life that causes stress that will impact your children. And
That's so true.
what would you tell families if they heard the news that I just shared with you and their stress levels are starting to really heighten even more so? What are some safety tips you would tell them so that they don't get in trouble with their kids and social workers and others?
Oh gosh. Well, the stressor number one, I tell parents this all the time. Give yourself a timeout because when I'm trying to help children to identify their anger, um, we try to get them in touch with the physical changes that take place in the body when you're angry. And generally, when you really feel your anger rising, there are some physical changes. Sometimes it starts in the stomach, sometimes you get a headache, but sometimes you just can feel it. And so, when you as a parent are so stressed out, and I know what it's like to be stressed out as a parent, and when you feel like that little volcano is starting to build up and it might erupt, give yourself a timeout. Try to pull yourself out of the situation. If you can go to your room and shut the door, you know how
Mm-hmm.
you tell the kids, go to your room and shut the door. If you can go to your room and shut the door, go to your room and shut the door.
That's beautiful.
And try to do it before the volcano erupts and you say or do something that immediately you regret. I even tell wives sometimes you may need to get in a car and take a drive. You know, take yourself a little drive, pull yourself out of the situation because as it intensifies, your emotions intensify, and you may do something that you really truly regret
Yeah.
or say something that you truly regret. So that's just one quick word of advice that I would give. Give yourself a timeout.
Oh my, that is really powerful, and you'd be you wouldn't be amazed, but
Mm-hmm.
truly, that tip is probably like the top of Mount Everest or something because I don't think moms would ever thought about giving themselves a timeout.
Oh well, I hope that they will. I've learned that it helps.
It
It
helps.
helps a great deal.
Think about some of the kids that you've impacted. How does that make you feel when you're doing your play therapy and a kid, reaches in the depth of themselves and outcomes what they don't even realize is what's troubling and there's a change in the child?
Um, it's a tremendous feeling of accomplishment. Um, we don't talk about specific cases, but many times I've seen children have a breakthrough. And even they're kind of surprised with the breakthrough. And you do see a turning point. Play therapy traditionally takes a little longer than some of the other therapies because children do have to get to a point where
Mm.
they know whether they can trust you or not. Children have that sixth sense that they know not to trust everybody. You think that children are very trusting, but they're not quite as trusting as you might think, not in the very depths of themselves. So, first of all, they have to get and build up that rapport with you so that they feel that they could just say or do anything. I've had kids shoot me in therapy. I've had kids,
Wow.
and that's very powerful
Wow.
because it's not me.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the problem,
Abs-
and they're empowering themselves to deal with the problem. So, it's a very gratifying feeling to know that you're helping.
You've got the Newtown incident that happened in Connecticut with all the kids that underwent the tremendous trauma, and I'm sure you follow that as well. And I could not help but think when you said that, some of those kids really feeling a need to just really strike out and like defend themselves, even though they were not the ones
Right.
that were injured.
Right. Yeah, but still, it's a trauma for them, and there's fear that they have to address. And I would feel certain that they are getting those children the help that they need. I know oftentimes in Hertford County, when we've had very difficult things happen, they've brought in as many of the counselors as they could, and even brought in the pastors and different ones to provide, grief counseling. And so I would expect that they are giving those children the help that they need to heal properly.